Gentlemen, just want to make sure you can hear me. You don't have the video screens this time? You're not hearing me.
Hey, Joseph, I'm online online too. I don't know that they're tuned in to us yet.
Feel that way, Craig. They don't even have the video screens they normally have. Something is very different in the setup.
Hmm. Okie dokie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're a long way away for a video call this evening.
Glad I am. Good to see you, though.
Thank
So what is going on with that?
Well, Eric knows we were chiming in because he's had Kelly send me the link about 30 minutes ago. So,
Same here, but they normally in the left and right corners they would
yeah.
have the video screen. Yeah. Something is not right there.
Yeah, he should be able to give me, you want to wait till?
Huh?
I said your mic's on now.
They've been on. Man, he did it. After the.
What, are you hearing us?
You can probably do it then.
Do I need to ask him about that? No, we just. Okay. No, I wasn't trying to get it tonight.
Oh, okay.
He just had a question about it. He didn't know timeline for it.
Hey, gentlemen, can you guys hear us on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Can we hear Joseph? Go on and do.
I don't know. I've been talking for a while and you haven't heard me so
Gotcha.
far. So, okay.
We got you now. Do it.
Video screen is gone. Video screens are gone at this time.
Eric. We can see you. Can you see us?
We see you, but where are the video screens?
He said, no, it's up to you.
They've moved.
Yeah. Yes, they're in front of us now.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
We hot? I got it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, we do. All right, folks, it's 7 o'clock. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. If we're all stand, follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Morris, let's bow our heads. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening as part of Team Amelia to serve you and our little community. We ask for your blessing and direction tonight as we come together at this table to make decisions for Amelia, and that they will be made according to your will and not our own. Thank you for this team. Thank you for all who are here and are watching. Thank you for the active, safe community that we live in. Thank you for a successful fair and national night out, and for all that were part of those successes. Lord, thank you for giving us and getting us through another great summer and for safe travels. And thank you, Lord, for our amazing young ball players who made Amelia proud this season and for all their success. Lord, be with all the students and staff this year. Thank you for a good start. Be with the kids, help them to absorb the taught information like a sponge, and be with the staff as they help prepare the next generation and are helping to build a better future for all of us. Lord, be with the farmers as harvest season has begun. We pray for their safety and for an abundant harvest. Help us all to appreciate what you have blessed us with, especially as we begin to wind down as we prepare for fall. Thank you, Father, for loving us and willing to forgive us when we ask. Thank you for good health, healing hands, and your protection over us, especially as we leave here tonight. I ask these things in your holy precious name. Amen.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Morris.
Make it good.
All right, folks. Board members, we do have a quorum. Mr. Easter is attending virtually. I do need a motion to allow that to happen.
So moved.
Motion on the floor to allow Mr. Easter to attend and participate virtually. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. All right,
He voted.
huh?
Did he vote?
I don't know if he voted.
It doesn't matter. I just write it down, Slick.
I didn't look up.
Really voted until you voted, so.
For
Okay.
the motion regarding
So then we say
myself.
5-0. I mean, 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah, I did
I
not
just-
vote for my own motion.
All right, then. All right, anything on the approve or amend the agenda, gentlemen?
You will go forward. 9/11 Memorial.
I was would like to pull the 9/11 memorial. I think it's gonna be a little discussion on that. That would be under staff recognitions. After we talk about the retreat. Do we want to pull the library stuff out? What?
Yes, David, I would like to request to remove the library as it was not following our procedures,
Okay,
library nominations.
well, let's move that to right after the 9/11 then, as a discussion. All right, those two were on the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with those corrections, the 9/11 discussion and the library nominee discussion?
So moved.
Motion on floor to make those changes. Any more discussion?
Closed session.
No. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. All right, therefore you have the consent agenda in front of you. We pulled two items out.
I move to approve the consent agenda as amended.
All right, motion on floor to approve the consent agenda. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, got some staff recognition. We got some ball players here. I heard y'all took a long trip down south. Somebody want to come up and tell us about it? Bring them all. Let all of them stand up here in front of them.
Wanna bring all the kids?
Bring them all. Let them all stand up. We'll get a picture. We'll get a picture of them. They did the work.
They're a rowdy bunch.
That's all right. We are too.
You gotta start somewhere being rowdy. Young is a good age.
Hello, board. My name is Brian Wagner. I live at 9110 Park Street. I just want to tell you a little bit. Come on this way so the board can see. Kind of spread out. So here we got a mix. We got the 6U and the 8U team. I want to kind of just take a little bit of the time to explain our season and what happened. So we started this season for DYB in middle to end of March of this year. We had a regular season that lasted all the way till June. After the regular season was done for closing ceremonies, 12 kids were selected for the All-Star team. So 12 for 8U and 12 for the 6U team. So once those kids were selected, the coaches were selected, it was all-star and practice. These kids came out and practiced almost every day, every night of the week from June until the end of July. I really want to recognize the parents that are here in the room and those that aren't here. It is quite a commitment to have your kids come every single night to the ball field, to give up your vacation time in June and July when most people are going to the lakes and going on vacation. They brought their kids every night to the ball field for multiple hours to practice, to get ready to represent our county well. The first step was the state tournament in Buckingham County. That was in July 4th weekend. It was very evident when we got there that Amelia was the team to beat for both 8U and 6U team. Coaches and parents came up to us. Hey, we've heard about your teams. We've heard that they are very good. And we have heard that you're the team to beat. The boys and girls, we had two girls on the 6U team. They did not disappoint. Both teams went undefeated in the state tournament and did not lose a single game and punched their ticket to the World Series. So very proud of that. That would be an accomplishment in and of itself to go and represent the state of Virginia. So beating out every other DYB team in the state to go to the World Series. After the state tournament, we kind of transitioned, obviously practice, the coaches, we're focused on practicing, getting ready for the World Series, and the parents and everybody else kind of pitched in to do fundraising. Laurel, Mississippi was where the World Series was held for DYB, and that is a 13-hour drive from Amelia County. And we were going to have to be there for 5-6 days, something like that. So it was quite an ask for the parents, not only to give up their time, but also their money to travel all the way to Laurel, Mississippi. So for the next 2 weeks, they did a lot of fundraising, both in person, both through social media and websites. They were able to raise $57,000 from the community, thanks to the board for supplying their funds. Very much appreciate that. But a lot of people from our community, businesses, individuals really stepped up, helped these young men and girls get to the World Series to help offset a lot of that cost. So kudos to these kids for giving up Saturdays to sell donuts, to do various fundraisers, the parents that worked behind the scenes to make those fundraisers happen, for all the time and effort that they put into that. That money was then divided amongst all the parents. Checks were written prior to going down to Laurel, Mississippi. So it helped offset some of the costs from hotel, gas, travel, things like that. So really appreciate the community stepping up. By and large, Amelia, but certainly, people that lived in neighboring counties, people virtually from Facebook that lived in other states supporting these young boys and girls on making their dreams a reality. The next step from that was the World Series. 8U had the first weekend, 6U was the weekend after, so it was split up into 2 weekends. The 8U team faced 12 different, well, it was a 12 tournament bracket, so 11 other states competed in this tournament. And each of those teams won their state tournament. So if you imagine not just some kids that get together on a Saturday, decide to go play, these are teams that have been playing for a while, that are very good, that have won their state tournaments, that faced our boys and girls. So the 8U played, they fought and battled rain, heat. It's southern Mississippi, as you can imagine. It's hot.
Here. I imagine it was hot there.
Yes, sir. It was quite warm. The first day we were there, it rained buckets. But they had a great attitude, played multiple games a day, and made it all the way to the championship game, beating out 10 other teams to make it to that championship game. Ultimately came up short, came in second place, but only by 2 runs. The team that won the World Series beat this team 6-4. So again, only giving up 6 runs to the team. I wouldn't say the better team, because I'll argue that our team was the better team, but I might be a little biased in that opinion. But we went second place, which again, beating out 10 other state championships is no small order. So really appreciate all the coaches. I know Coach Rice was our head coach for the 8U team. Really appreciate all the work and stuff behind the scenes, after hours, getting these boys ready for the state tournament. Michael Coward is also here, one of the coaches, so really appreciate him. And Jason Weir was the other coach for the 8U. So really keeping the kids motivated through that tournament. And then taking second place is great. The 6U is the next weekend. That is coached by Chris Tardif, Nick Nichols, Brandon Ramsey, and Forrest Sanford. Thank you, Chris. So had their boys and girls ready to play down there. Again, it's 6U, so 6 and under. So they had to take a team of 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and 1 4-year-old down to Laurel, Mississippi. So I don't know if you have kids and grandkids, but keeping 5 and 6 and a 4-year-old sitting still for a couple hours is quite a feat, let alone getting them to play the game of baseball and to play it well. They also had 12 teams in their bracket, went and took home the 3rd place trophy. So beat out 9 other states that, again, won their state tournament to go to the World Series. For 6, 5, and a 4-year-old is pretty impressive. So very impressive that they were able to do that. Thank you to Chris Tardif for leading that group and his coaching staff for getting them motivated, keeping them out there. And they had the same thing, playing multiple games a day in the heat down in Mississippi, far away from home. So that is kind of our season and the tournament as it wraps up. I will say that this is the second year that both 8U and 6U have gone to the World Series. I was fortunate enough to coach with Chris Tardif, and then Travis Knoll was the head coach last year for the 6U team. We went down to Dunn, North Carolina, and took second place in last year's tournament. And then Chris Rice, this is his second year coaching the 8U team. His team last year took home second place. So if you think about it, in 2 World Series in 2025 and 2026, Amelia DYB has gone to the World Series, taken 4 teams and won respective second place, second place, second place, and third place. So very impressive from these young athletes, as well as the coaches and the parents that have put all this time in. So very excited to be a part of this. The future is bright for these young athletes. Again, most of them are 8 and under, going down there and doing as well as they did. So really appreciate the parents and especially the community for supporting DYB here in Amelia. And I'm very excited to see what the future holds. So that is all. I don't want to talk too much, but thank you for your time.
That is quite a accomplishment. So let's give them an applause. Gentlemen, thank y'all for going there and representing the million. We appreciate that. Hope you do it again next year.
Keep up the good work.
All right, come on back.
I think they can give us a note.
That's right. That's right.
I think we got some softball players too. We don't want to leave them out.
That's right, the girl softball. Softball. Yeah. I hurt Lil.
So full disclosure, I'm not quite the talker as that gentleman was, so mine will be a little quicker. I'm Jessica Brown. I'm the commissioner for our youth softball programs. On behalf of the players, coaches, and families, I want to sincerely thank you for your generous donation to our World Series Fund. Your support helped ease some of the financial burden on our families and made it possible for these young athletes to experience something truly special. Reaching the World Series is a rare opportunity, and for many of our players in Amelia, it's a once-in-a-lifetime achievement. Amelia is fortunate to have a great group of talented, dedicated young women who practice just, our journey was basically the same as the boys as far as practice and parents being there and willing, ready, able to help. They represented our county with pride, character, and determination. While we had hoped for a stronger finish, these ladies fought hard until the very end and gave it their all. The memories made, the lessons learned, and the friendships they strengthened are worth every penny invested in this journey. We have big plans for the future, and who knows, we may find ourselves heading back to a World Series next year. Once again, thank you for believing in our young ladies and helping us make this experience possible. So this is our Bells age. Typically, they range from 13 to 15, but to make a full complete team, we have some 12-year-olds, so it's 12 to 15. They went through they went through districts undefeated. They came up runner-up in the state tournament, but were as runner-ups invited to go participate. So that's what we did. It was a great time. And they had a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. There'll be some scouts around Amelia, I would expect, with all this talent. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, young gentlemen. I see Glenn somewhere.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. It's my pleasure to be here this evening to introduce one of our newest employees for Amelia County Parks and Rec and Amelia County. This is Mr. Isaiah LeBlanc. He comes from Dinwiddie County with 10 years of experience, and he has come to Amelia County with his feet hit the ground running and has done a great job so far. And I see nothing but a bright future for Amelia County Parks and Rec with him being one of our employees. At this time, I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but I would like to welcome him to Amelia County and introduce him to you all. Isaiah.
Welcome to Amelia.
Thank y'all. Thank you, Glenn. I greatly appreciate it. I'm really excited to be here. I'm blessed and very thankful for the opportunity that I have to work here. And I'm just trying to be a sponge working with Glenn. But thank y'all, and I'm happy to be here. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. All right, that brings us to the public comment. Anybody wishing to speak about anything that's really not on the agenda? I do know we have a public hearing later on tonight. Please come up and speak. Try to hold your comments to 3 minutes or so. Tell us who you are and where you live at.
Hello, Martin Conkle, 16211 Church Street. Well, the way the agenda was laid out, I handed those papers because I didn't think I'd get the opportunity to speak to this, but I just did want to talk about the library nomination process and just kind of, yeah, what's in front of you is the main part. I'm just going to kind of put on the record a few things and add to it. You know, my main thing here is if anybody wants to take a minute to get out, that'd probably be a good time. Who wants to? Sorry, I just figured it'd be a good time to play, buddy. Yeah. Question. Sure, they don't want to sit here and hear all the boring stuff. All right. So to start, you know, I do think some issues were brought up earlier in the year with some things on the library and the library board. I do think it is a valid concern where we have had a tradition of pretty much the board gatekeeping their nominations. It hasn't really worked out in the past. With that being said, I do think we have some good leadership on that board now. I do think we have some good leadership in the library now. I still see an area of opportunity. I put down my credentials and stuff, education, professional experience. The main thing I want to put in is, or really point out is the effort. You know, in the past, I've seen these committees, I've seen how they operate, and I'm sorry, but in the past, they've been a bit of a social club. People show up once a month, they vote on a few things, they discuss a few things, and that's kind of been it. I've seen the work you guys have done here on the board. And first and foremost, I hope everybody realizes, and Joseph too, I know hopefully you're watching here, when y'all walk away from this position, you're going to leave the county in a better place than you found it. And it's because I've seen you members of the board put in the effort and go above and beyond the other people of past boards. And that's very important. And I think that's what we need more of on some of these oversight committees here in the community. I know I have a reputation. Some people don't like me, and I'm self-aware, and I can understand why. That's going to happen. But you cannot deny that I've been over the past few years putting in more effort than most citizens. I've welcomed other citizens. I've challenged them to step up. If you want to see something, put in the effort to make it happen. I've listed some plans and stuff out the gate I'd really like to put. You know, one of the things I want to point out that I put on the piece of paper there is I've seen the library. I pop in now and then. It's been, you know, it's been a bit exclusive, and it shouldn't be. It's a public space, and it should be reaching out to all demographics and everybody in this county. And you know, one of the things that kind of irks me a little bit, and I don't have a problem with this per se, you know, I go in there and they have an LGBTQ plus section, and that's fine. It is a public space. Everybody should have access and representation in that space. But at the end of the day, that's a very small demographic of this county, yet Christians, we have many churches out here, we have many Christians out here. They don't get the same kind of space. I don't see the same kind of promotion for some of that for our larger main demographics here in the county. And I do think we need to be more mindful of that. I think we need to be more inclusive when it comes to events and stuff at the library. There's a lot of events tailored to families and children, which is great. And I don't want to take away from that. I want to add to it. But at the same time, for people, couples that are grown, that have children that are grown or don't have children, there's not many events there. I had the library event director of the past ask me, I never see you at my events. I said, if I showed up to children's story time hour at 10 a.m. on a Friday afternoon as a 40-year-old man, that'd be kind of weird. But those are the events the libraries kind of have. And I also plan to put in the effort to do case studies with other libraries around the state and elsewhere to see what they're doing. I have plans in there in that piece of paper to bring in outside funds because I know this irks some people on the board. But when you're on the board, you do have control and some power over public funds and how they are spent. And you have to be honest with yourself. A library is not a necessary form of government. But this is the part some people didn't want to hear. I think it's very nice. I think it's a good thing to have in our community. But you have to recognize it is not a priority. And one of the plans I want to bring to that board are ideas and collaborations with businesses, local churches, etc., that I laid out a little bit here, and I plan to expand on more if I get this position, to bring in more outside funding so we can expand those events for children, so we can have nicer things. And we're doing it all without having to keep begging and raking the taxpayers over the coals in this county for every little thing people want. As we just said, I'm amazed right here. The Dixie Loop, the community pitched in $57,000 to send them to the World Series. That is amazing. God bless everybody that did that. There is wealth out here. People are generous out here, but we need to put in the effort in the marketing and the outreach to get some of that money in to help subsidize what is costing the taxpayer. So by all means, if it is your choice for me to be on the board, I'd love to serve. I'd love to make a big positive difference. I think this is a great area opportunity. But by all means, if somebody else that's been nominated brings more to the table and is going to put in more effort than myself, I am happy to see them do it and let them be successful in that. So I guess I trust your decision and I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
Anybody else? All right, I'll close the public comment. Takes us to our staff committee is VDOT. How you doing tonight?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Good evening, members of the board. For the minutes, I am Adam Brooks, representing VDOT's Chesterfield residency. Just gonna go over some items that I've had notes from previous meetings, things I'm tracking on. If you have any questions, feel free to stop me at any time. We had a request from a Lieutenant Wargoff Sack, and I'm sorry if I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. What's that?
One of the deputies.
Lieutenant from Sheriff Department. Yes, sir. Had a request to trim back some foliage at Dennisville and Five Forks. That was trimmed back. Today's the 26th. That was trimmed back yesterday. The Obslow Lane resurfacing. I have not been out there and rode it myself, but I understand that it was completed today. So I'm anxious to see what that finished product was. We will be coming back in probably 2-3 weeks to sweep that. Once we let the aggregate wear in, we'll sweep, may get some concerns about excessive aggregate. That's typical for this type of surface treatment. And then we'll come back in 2-3 weeks once that's worn in and sweep what is excess. So that has been, as I understand, as of today, completed. The lieutenant also had some questions, concerns about Genito shoulder stone from Clementtown to Chula. AHQ typically does that. The area headquarters typically does that twice a year. So they'll be evaluating that and adding any necessary stone in the next 30 to 60 days. Same concern for Clementown from Eggleston to Hall Branch. That will be done after Genito. Mr. Easter sent us a concern that he had, was made known to him about Amelia Avenue, the surface conditions. We have our staff looking to see if there's any repairs that are necessary there. It from 681 to 360, that's on schedule for FY27 to be mill and overlaid, so 1.5 inches of asphalt. And the remaining section, we have in our records that it was surface treated in both 2019 and 2024. So area headquarters staff will go back out and evaluate for any repairs. But we don't want to anticipate a full treatment. There's not a full treatment at any time planned at this point. Dykeland Road pipe was tracking on that as a question that you had a meeting or two ago. That pipe that has been replaced. So that's been completed. Concern for tree roots that were deteriorating the asphalt on Richmond Road. Those have been removed and the asphalt patched there. One of you gentlemen, and I apologize, I don't recall who it was, mentioned some potholes on Stony Point Road. We have done some patching there. There are a few others that we identify that require a little more excessive work, little dig outs, adding stone and patching the asphalt. Those will be happening again in the next 30 to 60 days. We had a request also from the lieutenant to look at the speed zones on 360 in the business area there. So I've sent that request to district traffic to look to see if anything needs to be changed there. VDOT did complete a study in 2023 which recommended maintaining existing speeds. So I don't know if conditions have changed enough out there to warrant any change to the speeds, but district traffic partners, they will be studying that, and I will we'll let the lieutenant know.
We've talked about that for many years. We would love to see it drop to 45.
Yes, sir.
Whatever's changed, hasn't changed, not changed. It's a lot of speed comes through there.
Understood.
Oh. Before you proceed any further,
Yes.
and I'm not putting him down, but when the law requests us something, do y'all act quicker on that than the supervisors? Because about 3/4 of what you have said, we have asked.
We don't know. He just happened to send the whole list. And so as we triaged the list, I triaged it all together.
Because
So-
I'm gonna start calling him and say, you call him.
No,
Don't do nothing when I tell him.
No, there's no preferential treatment. He just, as I said.
Treat routes off of Richmond Road.
Yeah. Good, yeah.
And then an update on mowing. This cycle of primary mowing, the area headquarters staff does that, and they began today. A second cycle of secondary mowing, which our contract support does. That is the next cycle is to be determined. They're in another county now, and then we're determining whether they'll start again in 30 days or 45 days, but we will have another cycle of the secondary contract mowing before the end of the growing season as well. So that was all I had. Do you all have any questions on those or any additional items?
I did have a couple of complaints about the mowing on the secondary roads.
Yes, sir.
So we're looking to get it done. It just hasn't happened yet. So.
Yes, sir. Yep.
But I did have a couple here. And I didn't make this address up, but at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
You sure you did.
Shaded Lane. The lady has a drainage ditch across the road right at the end of her driveway.
Okay.
And with these thunder showers that come, it stopped up and it backs up in her yard.
Okay.
I think that one's cleaned.
What about it today?
Okay.
And we mentioned about some 35-mile-per-hour signage on Rhoderfield and Foster's. The citizens had went through the process to get that done, and we were told the sign shop had already made them. We were just waiting for installation.
Okay.
And both of those roads were completed on a rural rustic program. So the speed limit, we were told, well, is 35 miles an hour.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't been tracking on that one, but I will look into it and let you know.
Anybody else got anything?
Well, I was gonna just tell him yesterday, a double yellow line doesn't mean you can pass. And it's state vehicles is blowing you off the road when they're going around and you're making a left-hand turn
Okay. Where was this?
on Grove Hill Road.
Okay.
A white state van. You almost had a tractor into it.
Don't do that.
No, not recommended.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you all
sir.
for your time.
He never checked up.
Dr. Harper?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Mr. Pollitt. Our new teachers and staff have started work, and our new teachers came on Monday, August 3rd. Our returning teachers and staff started on August 7th. Convocation was Monday, August 10th, and our first day of school was 7 days ago, Tuesday, August 18th. We had a great first week, and now we've been in session, as I said, for a whole week or 7 days. Tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m., the Amelia School Board and the Nottoway School Board will be meeting at the Amelia Nottoway Technical Center at 6:30 to discuss the future of the Amelia Nottoway Technical Center. In your board packet, you have the July financial reports, and Mr. Trump is here to discuss those.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Trump.
Tonight, I'm sharing with you finance reports for post-year of FY26 and July FY27. As of July 31st, FY26 expenditures and revenue stands at 97.03% in the operating fund. While the vast majority of expenditures for FY26 are complete at this time, as of this time, grant reimbursements and revenue and sales tax revenue collected in August continue to accrue back to FY26. Once expenditures and revenues for FY26 are completed and reconciled, we plan to bring a carry forward appropriations requests before the board in September, as we historically have, for cafeteria and textbook fund balances, as well as appropriations for select reimbursement-driven federal programs that might have remaining balances at the end of the last year. For July of FY27, our current fiscal year, to be meeting our goals, revenues and expenditures should be at about 4.88%. We are below that figure at 3.19%. In the textbook fund, expenditures are at 31.62% for FY26 and 6.02% for FY27. Funds 4 and 5 for all and in construction are at 100% and 101.77% expenditures, respectively, for FY26. As the state required that all in funds be expended or returned to the state by June 30th, ACPS completed the first of those two options, ensuring that all funds were spent. Fund 4 has been removed from this report going forward, and Fund 5 for construction is at 0.25% for FY26 and 1.77% for FY27. In the cafeteria fund, expenditures are at 6.42% for FY26 and 0% for FY27, as all payments issued in the month of July in this fund accrue back to the previous fiscal year. We have no appropriations requests for consideration tonight, but if you have any other questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Very detailed. Thank you.
Thank you all. Good night.
You have an ADM yet, Dr. Harper, or is that?
No, not for just 7 days, but I can tell you, our enrollment right now is at 1429, and we are seeing an average of 6 to 7 students, or about 2 students per school per day enrolling. So since the first day of school, and this is typical, we will continue to have additional enrollment generally through the second week of September. So it's slow every year. This happens, but.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did I see Kevin somewhere out there? Keith? Keith. Oh.
Okay,
Hey, Keith.
how's everyone tonight?
Good.
Okay, I'll talk about some upcoming programs. I'm gonna highlight some of the bigger ones. We've had in September, we have the Hispanic Heritage Month Fiesta. We're gonna have Mexican folklore dancers come in and dance over Parks and Rec. Our next event is Sailors Creek Battlefield, October 3rd, 11 a.m. There's gonna be a tour there, and Emmanuel Hyde's gonna be a part of that tour. Then we're gonna do a murder mystery in October, and more adult themed versus typical programming. And that's what I got for highlights for upcoming programming.
You want him to go ahead and do the other thing while he's up there?
I'd also like to do an appropriation of funds from our book budget. It's line items 12.
What's under finance? Up there, you can't think of it, knock it out now.
Keith, are you referring to what's in later in the packet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's already in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and that's informational, so there's nothing for them to vote on.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
So I'm good on that.
Yes, sir.
You can tell us about it since you're there.
It's a purchase of self-check system, so we can increase efficiency. Because like on Fridays, we do story time, and sometimes you might have 25, 30 kids come in trying to check out books, and we're only limited in staff. So it helps increase efficiency. Also, it allows check-ins faster, so we can check in a stack of books all in one go on a pad versus scanning each one. And it'll be, accurate check-ins, because sometimes things don't check in, but it's really to increase efficiency. So I can free up staff to do more meaningful work like programming and assisting patrons with their technological needs. And the 5,000 for programming from the book budget is to offer more programming to the community and, just provide something more for the community to do. And not just children, because we do a lot of children's stuff, but like Mr. Conkle said, we need to start offering some more programming for adults versus children like we always focus on. And that's all I have. Anybody have any questions?
Does that automated system do check-in and check-out? Or
Yeah.
just- oh, it does do both?
Yeah, it does both.
Okay.
We'll get a pad for the reference desk, and you just set the stack of books there and it'll automatically check them in.
You put a counter in, is that how your numbers looking?
Our numbers have increased so much that we had one week where we served 199 patrons in a day. So our numbers have been steadily climbing, breaking last year's numbers. And I'll actually, next time I come up, I'll bring a report to show the comparison between last year's numbers and this year's numbers. And even our programming's been breaking records as far as last year to this year.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Amelia Live concert series, is that? Yes, sir.
Hey, good evening again. So I wanted to give you all just a brief summary of what we're looking to do, because the committee and myself we're looking to put on an event, live music event for the community. And so essentially the event's just going to have live music, food trucks, some fun games for the kids, like little things. The library may put on like a couple things out there, little things for the kids to do. And then it's going to be kind of a BYOB for people to, if they want. It's going to be from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. We're estimating approximately around 200 people, roughly. It's the first time really doing this type of event, so we don't really have any past trends to kind of base it off of, but that's just generally what we're looking at. And it's going to be we're looking at the date of October 24th, 2026, from, like I said, from 5 to 9 on the Hindle Field. So it's going to be outdoors. So kind of looking at facing the stage kind of towards the hillside, so people can kind of either bring a lawn chair if they want to sit on the hill, the blanket. So.
Okay.
Anyways, if y'all have any questions at all?
Eric, you wanna Go ahead. I didn't see you raise your hand.
How many food trucks?
Food trucks, we have currently 3 secured. And they are Mama Brown's food truck. They serve soul food, kind of Southern food, Jay's Catering, and the Lions Club as well. And then we're also looking to obtain more as well.
Okay.
Hey, can you go into a little about how the tourism grant that we got is help paying for some of this stuff?
Yes, so part of what is required for the tourism funding that we'll be getting once we get the tax implemented is to create events and attract people to the community, which is ultimately going to help our small businesses. And so this is one of those things that we're going to do as a pilot, as a test run. And so the money's already in the budget for this in the Parks and Rec budget.
Okay.
Is there a rain date?
Not as of right now, no, sir. With when we're scheduling food trucks, we don't want to tentatively schedule people for a date that may not end up happening as well, because they would book up another potential opportunity for them to go somewhere else.
So should nobody be cutting hay at that time in October?
Time bomb would be in. So maybe would be.
Thank you, Isaiah.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You never know.
You never know.
January 1 year.
Cut hay.
Had to, didn't have nothing.
All right, brings us to the meals tax. Is that, who's giving us the update on that, Eric?
Ashley will be, so she's online.
Hey there, Ashley.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Won't take up too much of your time this evening. Just wanted to give you a rundown of what's been done already for meals tax and what's coming up. So meals tax will start October 1st. So getting ready for that, we had on August 3rd a meet and greet for any business owners that wanted to come in person to ask any questions, see how the civic review system works. So we had a few show up there, and we have also put the links on the finance page on the Amelia website. So there's a link for civic review and also a link for the ordinance that will tell them exactly what type of food and items are covered. We have a dedicated email address that's been created for meals tax questions. It's just meals tax for anybody to ask questions there, along with, of course, being able to call finance and ask some questions too. We have created a one-page mailer to go to businesses also. So we've started to send that out. We're kind of doing in 2 phases. So the rest will go out the beginning of next week. And on the front, it just lists all the important dates and links. And then on the back, there's an abbreviated portion of the ordinance that kind of hits the highlights of what they need to know. And then also references back to the link so that people can register. What we're planning for September is to call and make appointments with each business to sit down with them and walk them through registering. So the goal is to have everyone registered before the October 1st due date. And what that will do is allow people to get notices directly to whatever email they choose to use, that taxes are due coming up soon, and reminder emails and such when that's due. And then also after they submit the paperwork, reminders for payments and other details like that. So in tandem with the treasurer's office, we are ready for that to go. Civic Review is the system that we're using for the registration, and it is live and available for businesses now to start registering.
Good. Thank you, ma'am. You got anything to add, Eric?
No, sir.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Yep, that's it.
How many
Joe.
attended your open house meeting?
Just a couple of people. So we had 2.
How many businesses? Two businesses. And so you're going to be mailing them next week. So you'll be mailing the individual notices and then meeting with individual businesses less than a month before the tax goes into effect.
Correct. So the due date for the October tax is November 20th. So there is,
Okay. No, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
there should be plenty of time to get to all of them and meet, but we did want to give them that letter in advance of our coming.
I'll have to get their computer systems completely redone, et cetera, less than a month from when you'll give them individual notices of that. Yeah.
That all you got?
Yep.
All right, thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I did have one more. How many businesses have you identified will the tax be subject to?
I am not there in the office right now, so I can get you that number when I return next week, if that's okay, or I can have someone work on that for you while I'm gone.
Yeah, that would be great if someone could send that to us. I mean, everyone keeps thinking it's just a couple, but I know it's many, many more than that. And I think we don't actually understand the tax that we've approved. So that would be great to understand the large impact. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That brings us to the retreat.
Well, good evening, board members.
Yes,
Good to
sir.
see. Good to see you. Glad to
Good
be
to
a
see
part of
you.
the meeting this evening. I am, for those that I don't know there in the audience, I'm Craig Meadows with the Berkeley Group. I've worked with Amelia County on several projects, and I'm excited to be involved in helping the board with their annual retreat, which will be on September 18th. That'll be here before we know it. I've enjoyed catching up with several of you to hear your thoughts and items that you want to make sure that we cover during the course of the day. So I hope to have an opportunity to talk to those of you that I haven't spoken with over the next couple of days to make sure I've had an opportunity to hear from everyone. I'm working on the draft agenda now for the meeting. Again, it'll be on Friday, September 18th. And Eric, I believe we're at the same place that we met last year for the retreat. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Mhm.
I hope so. Know where to go now.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's a nice place to meet. Gives us an opportunity to spend some time. You know, I've had several folks over the years that have said, you know, why is it important for elected officials to have a retreat or a planning session? And you know, just as I've seen evidence this evening, you guys have a lot of things that you have to say grace over, you know, for various board meetings, lots of reports and activities. And it's good to just take an opportunity for the board to set aside some time to talk about what's gone well over the past year. What are things that you want to make sure that you're paying attention to going into the upcoming year? And also really spend some time and focus on what are the priorities and the objectives that you want to see accomplished during your times on the board in Amelia County. So, you know, the agenda will be geared around that. It'll be an opportunity for us in the morning to talk about, you know, what has gone well, what are your concerns, what are things that you want to see done differently over the next year. And then in the afternoon, we'll really spend some time honing in on some of those objectives and priorities and doing our best to put a timetable and an action plan to those things so you'll have something that's measurable and something that Eric can use working with you over the next year to ensure that you're accomplishing what you want to accomplish. So I'll have a draft agenda to you hopefully in the next week or so. And then September 18th, I think, is 3 weeks from Friday. So that'll be here before we know it. And I'm just looking forward to spending time with you again. Be glad to answer any questions or anything that you may have for me this evening.
Anybody got any questions? Have y'all had y'all's phone calls with him yet? You have yours? Mm-hmm.
Done.
Did he call you?
No. Has he called you, Joseph?
I was the first one. And
Okay.
yep.
Yep.
All
For
right.
those, if I haven't talked to you yet, if you can email me your cell phone number and a good time to catch up with you, I'll be more than happy to make time to have that conversation.
You both put big overalls on, prepared riding a tractor.
We'll get you in contact with that.
That's no worries.
Got to read your actual emails to know that he was requesting it. Yeah.
Folks, thank you for
All
your
right.
time this evening. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Craig.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that brings us to the 9/11 discussion. Who's heading that one off? You?
Yes, sir. How's everybody?
I'm good, Chief. How you doing?
Doing very well. Thank you so much. All righty. Ms. Morris, appreciate the opportunity to be brought in on the 9/11 memorial. It's such a time of remembrance in the public safety community. So thank you for that invitation this week. We did get a chance to get together as a group, kind of plan out what was previously looked at and maybe what is going to be the right solution moving forward, given we don't know what the weather's going to be that year, and kind of have some contingency plans. So those things have been actively worked on this week with several groups. Mr. Pollock has a draft agenda of kind of what the event will look like, be open to the public, slated to be at 1 o'clock at the fairgrounds, pending still a few more details that we'll try to get resolved by tomorrow. But happy to answer any questions. And the other item, I think, Ms. Morris, you asked for maybe a proclamation, and I've emailed Mr. Phelps, yourself, and Eric a draft proclamation for 9/11. If that's an action you wish to take, you've got that in draft in your email box. And again, be happy to answer any questions or respond to whatever you need.
Thank you. Is the proclamation needed prior to the?
If the board chose to move on it this evening, we would put it into the ceremony as a portion of the activities for that particular event. You can, of course, do that after the ceremony at your next meeting also. Of course, I defer to you, Mr. Chairman, and our county administrator on what the right approach to that is.
I ain't trying to put him on the spot or push it through.
Well, he's gonna be the meeting prior to this.
I'm looking at it, and it's a simple whereas, and we recognize what happened in New York, the World Trade Center, and I can't think. Pennsylvania. In Virginia.
The listed in, I don't see Virginia listed.
Do you got it, Joseph?
I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation as
I think we'd
presented.
be fine with that. That way it's set up, it's for the event
agree.
and everything is taken care of.
Yes, sir. Thank
So
you.
it'll be read at the event?
Yes, sir. We can have it read at the event. I always defer to council and the county administrator and the chair. So if y'all are good with that, we can make that happen.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to approve the proclamation presented by the interim fire chief for the 9/11. Is that your motion, Joseph?
Sir, it is. Thank you.
Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. All right, we got that done.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why are we doing this while everybody's at work?
Sir, unfortunately, I do not know the history of why it was chosen for doing the middle of the day. So forgive me. I don't have an answer for that, so I apologize.
Trying to include the schools.
Okay, but you leave out everybody else that's working.
Well, it's we're
That was
trying to
just my
get-
question.
Yeah,
Point. It will
working on it to make it the best of the.
Excuse me?
disagree with you, Todd. I'm agreeing with you, Todd. That's all.
Because I mean, I think we'd have a bigger turnout if it was 6 o'clock.
Well, I think it got bigger, faster, and grew and grew and grew, and it, we asked him to kind of step in to help us
Understand.
get it cleaned up because we're running out of time, so.
And I'll defer to the board, Mr. Robinson. If y'all want to pivot to a little later, that would kind of need to be known today if that's the direction y'all would like to move. I think we have the flexibility to do that from what I've been involved in the last couple of days. So again, defer to y'all's direction on that.
I say we're a little far in the game.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little late.
Hold on with it this year.
Yes, sir. Be happy.
9/11 comes around every year.
Yes, sir.
And if we can do something different next year.
Okay, sounds good. We'll continue the course as is.
Could be, if it is, yeah. I mean,
Is it on Friday?
Yeah.
it's Friday this year,
It's Friday.
so it will be a Saturday.
Not necessarily, but it should be.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Chief.
Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all's time. Yes, sir. You're more than welcome. Happy to help.
I do think Todd brings up a good point that too many of these things, the county plans are not fully thought through, all the logistics in advance.
I wouldn't necessarily say the county planned it, Joseph. It started off with emergency services planning this. And then.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Like they
thought they were
need-
part of the county. I thought they were part of the county
Well, they
administration.
are, yes, sir, they are
Right.
part of the county, but they were doing
That was
this
my
on-
point. I agree. That was my point.
All right, library, y'all want to do on the library nominations? You had 3 of them in front of you.
So we have a process that says we have to receive nominations for committees 2 weeks in advance. And they need to, we need to receive their contact information. We received them only 1 week in advance and they have no contact information. I wanted to speak with the nominees. I was not able to communicate with any of them because we received no contact information. As you acknowledged, David, they didn't follow the process. And you agreed we would postpone it to next month and then get the information.
Okay. Everybody cool with that?
Yep.
Well,
Sean, think
same
over
process
here. You
for every
stood on the
committee.
board.
Well, I agree with what he's saying, but from my understanding, the library is a different beast. And the way I understood it, that the library does the filtering and it doesn't work different. Am I saying that right, Jeff? Or
The library has a process, the trustees have a process where they come up with nominations that they present to the board. So that's on the library end. So, I don't know that changes the board's process. That's just part of the overall process that you get nominations.
Doesn't change our process.
Right.
That's the whole problem.
Exactly.
Our
And
process is
as
black
Jeff
and
said
white.
earlier, we can still, as Jeff said in previous meetings, we can still add nominations. We don't have to only accept their nominations, et cetera. That's just a set of nominations.
Can you take it back to the library board that the resumes need to have contact information on?
he's hearing it right now.
And we must receive them at least 2 weeks in advance.
I don't remember the 2 weeks in advance. I'll take your word for that.
There.
Okay, then I'll take your word for it. All right, that's what we'll postpone it till next month. And you'll get all the information 2 weeks prior to their meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Circuit Clerk's Office appropriations for temporary staffing. I think we've done this in the past with some other people that were retiring.
Hi, good evening.
Hey,
How are you all? Thank you for this opportunity to present our request for appropriation for staffing temporarily. Did all of you get an opportunity to read the letter I submitted to you back in May to justify my reasons for asking?
Good enough.
Was what?
Wasn't good enough.
Okay. You really want to go into more detail?
No.
We can do it, can't we?
No.
My name is Marilyn Wilson. I'm clerk for the circuit court. This is Melissa Rawls. She's my deputy clerk. She's been with me for 20 years. So I've been clerk for 33 years now. So Melissa and I both will be retiring. Melissa's goal is January 1st. Mine is also January 1st, depending on my staffing and the training. Because with 4 of us there now, with 2 leaving and only 2 people in, being the 33 years, I can't leave them with 2 people. And so that's why I'm here asking for some temporary staffing just for 4 or 5 months. I really would like 2, but I didn't want to push my luck. Reason I say two, because two, we are approved for five, members now, five, employees. And we have four, and two would be fully staffed, because we, have one who's supposed to start September 1st. So that would be five when we leave in December, we'll be fully staffed. And that would be nice to have a fully staffed trained, when we leave on January 1st. So that is my request, and any questions, or do you want me to go into detail why we need
Can't
more?
believe the judge is letting you leave early.
He's probably glad. No, I'm just kidding. No, early. No, 33 years.
No, you ran this term. You had, what do you got? 5 more years?
Yeah, my term is up in 31.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They always say you'll know when it's time to step down. Yeah, and I'm feeling it.
What's the board's pleasure?
I move to approve the appropriation as submitted.
Okay.
That's
Motion on the floor to make the appropriation. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Joseph, you voting? All opposed? Okay. Marilyn, you did mention your term is up in 31
Uh-huh.
as so I guess
Guess.
are you running till then or
No,
She's
what else?
done this January.
so is preparations been made for that office to have a candidate run for it?
Well, what happens, my chief deputy will be automatically appointed by the judge
Okay,
until the next election. And then the person who wins or runs in the next election would fill the next 4 years.
I got you.
Until
Okay.
31.
So
But it won't have a
before,
special election.
Right, well, for this office it would, I'm sure you'll probably wait until November when the regular election is,
Okay.
scheduled.
Okay.
That will be a 4-year term to fill out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I guess while all that's been taken care of through the register and all that.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank
we'll
you.
miss you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Miss you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Declare. David,
Go ahead, Joe.
I just wanted to explain my vote against it. Obviously happy to see her retiring. Yes, it's well deserved after 33 years. I just think since this was known since May, should have been part of the regular budgeting process. We've had this kind of general concern for other appropriations, et cetera, and I just want to state that was my reasoning. That's all.
Thank you, sir. All right, we got a second appropriation, well, not appropriation, just a budget transfer, of this information for the treasurer's office. Anybody want to explain that one?
I mean, what it says in
This
the report is,
Okay.
I'm reading it, but the people can't see it.
No,
yeah,
it's not
what it
clear
says in the
based on what's
submission
written.
is transfer to offset reduction in budget reimbursed by salary from the comp board, start date of July 1, 2026.
That is
Okay.
unclear to me what that means.
I think it was a clerical error on 2 parts for this one person to get their comp board percentage or increase or something. And
Just cleaning it up.
yeah, they're just cleaning it up. It's not the employee's fault.
So they found it in her
I'd
budget.
like to see that.
Budget.
I'd like to see. So one employee is getting an additional $1,823.
It's one was stepped up. I think the way I understand it.
We see this written out
However,
more
the comp
clearly.
board does their stepping process and it got missed apparently.
We see this more written up more clearly with an explanation before we approve it. Let me say this differently. I am not going to be able to vote. I am not going to be able to vote in favor of it without more clarity. I'll say that differently.
I think this is an informational thing because it's just transferring a fund from one line item to other. I don't think it takes an action, Joseph.
Let me say I don't support it without more clarity. Let me say
Okay.
that differently. Thank you.
No action, gentlemen.
Yeah, you already did the
All
library.
right. I got this. I got a list right here, Carl.
I got you.
You can do this next year.
No.
Community development.
I'm sorry, you moved past the library one. I don't understand the codes. Can you explain where the money is coming from and where it's going to with the library one before you move past that one? I don't know the code numbers.
Yeah, so the code number is listed in section 3 on the form, and the
I see
description
the
for
numbers.
those.
I just don't know there. All right, go ahead.
We can
Go ahead,
send you
Eric.
the
Sorry.
descriptions in the budget. I can send that information to you as a follow-up.
That was an internal transfer too, also, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes, correct. It's within their own.
All right.
We've had all this information for over a week. If we had questions, they should have been asked.
All right. Development. DMV records, all that's in there. Any questions, comments? Let's get down to old business. I'll let the county administrator do his, give us the waste management and all this stuff. You got the solid waste ordinance in front of you. We seen it a couple months ago. The landfill advisory committee, to what I know of it, pulled it back. They wanted to run it through one more time. So it is now in front of us. Only action is to make comments and direct staff to start the process of change the ordinance. Does anybody have any questions? Lindsay, you sit on this committee. You got any questions?
No, I'm ready to read it if you're ready. The motion.
Yeah.
Okay. I move to direct staff to proceed with issuing the public notice to amend Part 1, Chapter 164, Article 5, the 164-34, letter H of the Amelia County Code of Ordinances.
All right, motion on the floor to send the solid waste ordinance to staff. Somebody say something? Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. All right, brings us to public hearing. Special exception 26-01. Who is explaining this?
Mr. Chairman.
How you doing, ma'am?
Hi, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Pollitt, Mr. Gore. I'm Darla Orr Odom. I work with the Berkeley Group. I have been helping with Amelia County and some of the zoning and planning matters, and I was asked if I could attend this evening with you all for this public hearing that you have. I have a short presentation, which I can go over the details of the request if that's appropriate for you, Mr. Chairman.
That'd be fine.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you all now so I can begin the presentation. Can you all see my screen?
Not yet. There we go.
All right, good. All right, so this evening you are having a public hearing. This is a request by Watkins Amelia LLC. This is for a special exception permit number 26-01. This is to allow an assembly hall use per section 325.8.3F of the zoning ordinance. The applicant is a potential purchaser of the subject property. They intend to operate an event venue for weddings, parties, and community gatherings with overnight accommodations. Let's see here. There we go. My next slide you see here is a map, which is the zoning map for Amelia County. It shows the subject property outlined in purple and identified here. It's a 15-acre property that fronts the east line of Grub Hill Church Road, is identified as tax parcel 21-10, and is known as 11441 Grub Hill Church Road. The subject property and the surrounding properties are zoned RR3, Rural Residential District. The overnight accommodations that are planned would be permitted by right within the RR3 district as a short-term rental use. It is the the assembly hall use that requires approval of a special exception for it to be allowed on the subject property. The comprehensive plan designates the property as part of the rural residential development area, which is an area anticipated to protect rural character, accommodate quality rural residential development, respect existing agricultural uses. It also is intended to protect the cultural heritage of the area and the scenic beauty, as well as to encourage a diversified economic base. The next slide shows you an aerial view of the subject property, as well as a picture of the Winterham Plantation house, which is on the subject property. The house is an 1855 Italian villa dwelling. It is on the National and Virginia registers for historic landmarks. Historically, the property was used as an event venue with a bed and breakfast, but based on the ordinance requirements for a special exception to continue, they're back before you now because the property had ceased to be used for this use for a period of at least 24 months or over 24 months. Surrounding properties are occupied by agricultural use and single-family dwellings on large parcels and acreage properties. This is looking at basically the layout that the applicants provided. They don't intend to make changes to the property as they indicated in the application, except that they plan to do some additional landscaping. There's a yellow area that you see square that's on the screen that is the area where generally they put their tent for the events. And then the blue area that you see here is what they've identified as that's been the existing parking area. They plan to continue to use it for the parking area. And with their application, they have also said that the landscaping, the additional landscaping they will provide would specifically provide additional landscaping along the southern portion of the property adjacent to the parking area to help minimize the view and impact of that parking area on the surrounding properties. The zoning ordinance offers you some guidance when considering special exception permits. It's in this section noted here. First, the use for the special exception must be listed, obviously, as a use that is permitted by the approval of a special exception in the zoning district, and that is the case here for the assembly hall. You must find that the location is appropriate and it is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan or the statement intent of the zoning district, that the use would not adversely affect public health, safety, and welfare. There would be safeguards provided to protect surrounding properties, persons, and neighborhood values, and that additional standards as set by the governing body have or will be complied with. With this request, there are some conditions that are recommended. These are these other things that the governing body may approve or impose to help protect the surrounding area. And so these are conditions that are recommended with this case. Number one, that the applicant would conform with the layout and statements in the application. This would be including the area that we talked about before for the additional site landscaping and on relative to the parking area. That the use itself would be limited to a maximum of 300 guests. There would be no events allowed between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, and they would not be allowed between 11 p.m. and 8 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Applicants must obtain the zoning, building, and health department permits prior to beginning operation. Part of that process will include submittal of a parking plan to ensure that there is safe movements throughout the property, as well as to avoid any on-street parking or impact on the public roadways. VDOT is required to review this plan and approve it before they could move forward. So those are 4 conditions that are in the staff report and are recommended with the case. The conditions, or if you want to read them word for word, on page 5 of the staff analysis. The Planning Commission, at the conclusion of their public hearing on July the 27th, 2026, voted unanimously, and staff also recommends approval of this request for the following reasons. And these are summarized from page option 1 on page 6 of your report. That says, approval with conditions. The use is a special exception use listed in the RR3 district. The location is appropriate and would comply with the comprehensive plan and the district intent standards. The use would not adversely impact or be detrimental to area persons or properties or public health, safety, and welfare. So with that, that concludes my presentation. If I can need to, answer any questions, I will do that, but I will defer it now to you for the public hearing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Any board members have any questions before I open the public hearing? Joseph? Oh, just a minute, ma'am. I'm gonna open the public hearing. Anybody listen? We'll open the public hearing on special exception permit 26-01. Anybody wishing to speak? Yes, ma'am.
Did Mr. Larkin Moyer share my correspondence with you? I've written Mr. Larkin Moyer 2 letters.
It may have not made it to our packet.
And he has not replied to either of my letters. You were pointing to someone?
I believe he's here.
Boy, you're sitting back there.
Yeah, I believe that the chairman of the planning commission is here, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
I had requested that the paragraph be rewritten, that it was misleading and inaccurate. And
And what is your name?
I'm Mrs. Hadfield. We own Winterham.
Okay, what's your address?
We live at our residence on 13001 Dykeland Road.
Thank you, ma'am.
We own both properties. They're sister plantations.
Okay, thank you.
But I was concerned that apparently Mr. Olson was in process of departing his job. And I think that's the reason why the letter was not well written.
Okay.
Um,
Larkin, you got anything you want to add?
I received a letter yesterday from the thing.
I sent a letter on August 17th.
I got it yesterday. The county brought it to me yesterday.
What paragraph?
The what?
What paragraph is the problem?
I think the paragraph she was talking about is when Austin brought it in. The Watkins wrote it one way and she would rather have it written a different way. And it's
Which
just
one?
a little more explanatory. I don't have the contract in front of me. If you look at the summary of the information, do y'all have that with you? It says the applicant is a potential purchaser, goes on, it says at the historical manor house structure listed on the National Registry. That was not in that paragraph.
The way it
And
was
also the
written, yeah.
Tent construction, I think it said assembly hall, and it didn't know if it should have had a paragraph that said tent structure, or it'd have to be a permanent structure.
Ma'am, are you for or against this project?
I'm for it, but I think it should be represented properly. Since this is a document that that people will read.
Is those corrections in this paragraph, is that in the zoning ordinance? It's just it's in their personal contract, right?
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, the only legal document that is relevant is the
special exception permit, which lists 5 or 4 conditions. A staff report is not part of what is being approved. It's gonna just, so this vote would be to allow this property to be used as assembly hall under the ordinance. That's the only legal thing that's happening. So any background material or staff report, it can certainly be looked at and corrected, but it's not necessary to get your zoning approval.
And so these, let me understand that the tent that will be the assembly hall will have people staying in the tent overnight. That was what was inferred by the way it was written originally. And I thought it should be clarified to include that the accommodations, overnight accommodations, are not in the tent, but the overnight accommodations are in the existing structure. We have operated Winterham since 2003. We've accommodated it overnight guests the whole time, but there was no mention even of the Winterham structure in any of this.
So Mr. Chair, what we can do, to address that is to clarify in the listed conditions, just add a number 5 that just simply says all overnight guests will be accommodated in the existing
Structure.
historic structure,
Right.
not in a temporary tent.
Right.
Something like that. I mean, we can, but that sentiment can be put in the permit.
Okay.
For the record, so it's clear.
Yeah, number 5.
Is that, if that helps? If that helps you, so
Let me read the paragraph as I've suggested it should be rewritten. The applicant is requesting a special exception permit to construct and operate an assembly hall, in parentheses, tent structure, on the property. The applicant is the potential purchaser of the property and intends to resume utilizing the property as an event venue with overnight accommodations at the historic manor house structure listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The property was previously used as an event venue, but since it has been more than two years since the venue was operated, a special exception permit is required to operate the present and planned venue. The assembly hall use is permitted by special exceptions, etc. Overnight accommodations would be allowed as a short-term, etc. Does that meet with your approval?
Yeah, would you like to submit that for the
Yes,
record?
I would be happy to.
We can take that and put that into the record of the public hearing.
I would appreciate that very much.
Do that, Mr. Chair?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. You can give it to that gentleman on the end right there.
And I don't think we need to amend the permit. I think, it's clear.
To take it to it.
Yeah.
You want me to take it to this section, or do you need that copy? I can get my copy to him if that's what you would like.
That would be fine.
Okay, I'll get you
That
my
would be
copy.
Okay.
But I'm wondering why this letter that I sent to Mr. Moyer on August,
He said.
I sent the letter on August 17th. And he received it yesterday.
Yesterday.
That's pretty good.
Hey, that's the post office.
That's
good.
Not the post office. It was brought from the county.
Oh.
It was delivered from the county and it was stamped, but I forgot what the date was, the stamp that they received.
Was it
But I did
delivered
receive
here or
a
mailed
copy.
here?
What?
Was it delivered to the county or was it
Delivered
mailed to the county?
Delivered to my name. County address,
It was-
box office, everything to the county.
It was addressed to Mr. Larkin Moyer, Chairman, Amelia County Planning Commission, 16360 Dunn Street. What did I do wrong?
You did everything right, ma'am. You did everything right, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for your input tonight. We will make that change in the public records of the form.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And thank you to Mr. Moyer and all of the work of the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're not gonna change. Guess I best speak while I'm up here.
Might as well.
Larkin Moyer, 16140 Giles Road. I got too many addresses in my head. But the planning commission met. There was a small public hearing, really no comments other than Ms. Hatfield and Mr. Hatfield. I see no reason to not have it. It's been there before. It's nice that Mr. Watkins is interested in purchasing it too, since he surrounds it. And certainly in a nursery environment, you know, the outside will be immaculate, I can see. And, you know, one way to get people to the county is either, bad to say, is, you know, either through a marriage ceremony or a federal funeral. You know, that brings business in, I guess you'd say, but it's also another business for the county. So, I mean, personally, I think it's certainly nice to keep that house up as it is. But the commission went 100% for it, because all you're doing is it's been out for 2 years, just flopping it back over and going into the same rigs for everything. So.
Puts the land back whole again too.
What?
Puts the land back to it.
Yes.
That side of the road.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I know, it ain't got Trump Road. Ain't gonna happen over there.
So it's nice to keep, you know, a large tract together, certainly. Yeah, as I see it, being a farmer, and then trying to plan keeping it rural. So, thank you.
Thank you, Larkin.
I did want to confirm it was mailed.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Whoever-
Was it hand delivered to here or was it mailed to here?
It was mailed to here.
Thank you.
And they hand delivered to me yesterday.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I was
So
trying
I'll
to
get
get
it
to.
back to
Expedite
Eric.
that delivery.
Yeah.
I'll get it back to Eric. in the next couple of days.
I had something that took 2 months from Farmville to Amelia, and it was an important.
All right, anybody else like to speak?
What had to go to Richmond first?
I went to Greensboro.
That's
We
worse.
don't deal with the mayor. We got a public hearing going on. Anybody else like to speak? All right, I'll close the public hearing. What's the board's pleasure?
To approve the special exception permit.
Thank you, Judge. A motion on the floor to approve the special exception permit.
Mr. Chair, my only suggestion would be to reference option 1 as prepared by staff and to incorporate that, Mr. Easter, because that's the rationale for approval. You don't have to read it.
I agree with that as the motion. It is option 1 as recommended by staff. Thank you, Mr. Core.
Sir.
Jeff, I did have one other question about that. So do we need to state that additional
No,
condition that
we don't need to change the
doesn't need-
condition. We'll just incorporate that letter into the record, public record. I don't think we need to change the conditions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, there's a motion on the floor. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. All
Thank
right. Thank you, ma'am, for your work. All right, Eric, it's all you for a little bit, buddy.
All right, so we're at the end here. I'll go back up and read the waste management letter. So the total amount host fees this month was $218,737.02. And Craig talked with y'all tonight, so y'all are aware of the retreat coming up, and if you need directions or have questions, please let me know.
I got it.
Are you guys?
Tammy's gonna take me up there.
Y'all can carpool.
I know what
Yeah.
you're doing.
You can always do that. A couple of things coming up in September, so these are just follow-up administrative items that Jeff and I have been talking about, and we'll follow up on. One of them is
some updating the language for the people and including the short-term rental, making sure that that's clarified, cleaned up, and along with meals tax and some lodging tax questions that had come up, and we'll review those and then make changes as needed. That's coming up in September. Other than that, that's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Question. I'll be quick. Now that you've gotten kind of settled in and office reorganized, how's that going, especially with DMV? Is that up and rolling good? I mean, I know you get full staff and everything now, right?
Yeah, I believe the staff's loving the new setup and joined the new folks we brought onto the team, and everything seems to be going very well.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, I used it this week and I thought it worked very well.
It is what you used.
The DMV.
Oh, okay.
Right here.
All right. Closing comments, board activities. Joseph, you want to go first, being your across the world?
Halfway across the world, south, but yes. No, it's been a fairly standard month. I don't have anything significant to add. I will say the fair was a great event. I want to appreciate everyone who contributed to that, made it a wonderful event. And looking forward to many other events we have coming up over the next month or so, including the Amelia Live series and our 9/11 event that we talked about earlier.
Thank you, sir. I went to the Piedmont Jail. We acted up last month. We had 56 residents up there. And each one of them over cost us money, so please act right. Go ahead, you're all by yourself.
Just spent a lot of money in CP&T. That's about it. Just watch out for the school buses.
Yes.
Had a PSR meeting. Basically, meeting was to tie up some loose ends. In-house loose ends. CRC meeting, not very much pertained to Amelia. Went to Baycore. Like I had a heart attack. My Uber driver in downtown Richmond is something else.
Don't go there. I won't fit in Richmond.
But he sat on the ag committee, and basically I think we talked about bear hunting and baiting bears in the mountains and data centers and solar farms and etc. I didn't see a whole lot pertaining to agriculture that was in that meeting, but
I forgot about Big Cool. I thought that was last
Yeah.
month. Man,
well,
my
you
head's
should have
off.
rode with that same Uber driver. Oh, yeah. And
All right.
that's it.
All right, Benji.
I heard the fair was good. I think everybody enjoyed the 18 the new build in the exhibition hall. So thank y'all for getting that done. Welcome back to school. I know the highway's changing. People are getting used to that. Good luck with the students and staff. Keep an eye out for the posting of the 9/11 memorial thing. If y'all can make it, if you're not working, try to attend that. Enjoy your last day of summer vacation, Labor Day coming up. And I want to close out. For those of you who don't know, I had a real bad accident, and I'm very fortunate to even be here in the last couple of weeks. And I want to thank everybody for your cards and prayers, calls and texts, whatever you're reaching out. I really appreciate it. And I am blessed that I'm not busted up and I'm even alive. So I fell off of a building and landed on a generator and just had some stitches here and in the back of my head, and I don't remember what happened, but I'm here. So I thank the Lord for that. And with that, I will move to adjourn.
Before we do that, I get one bit of information. Some people spoke last month on the Motorsports Park in Powhatan. That request was denied Monday night.
Oh, okay.
So, motion to adjourn.
Yes, sir.
All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Oh,